All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of the Banter Boys podcast. But first, I just want to bring, something to the world real quick. USA, baby! We're bringing home the gold cup today. What the fuck is a kilometer? We are going to win today. That's all I got to say. I don't know.
Fourth of
That was
July
it.
weekend, it was meant to be.
4th of July weekend. What's a kilometer? Here we go.
I thought you were about to give a tribute to Diego Jota.
Um, that,
Without trying, we all wore black as well.
to be
With
fair,
no communication.
that would have been nice and appropriate. I think we can talk about it for a second. Definitely a big loss in the soccer community, the football community. Definitely a huge tragedy. So not great things over the weekend.
No, that was horrible. Getting married 10 days before that, awful. Awful for the whole family. So condolences to everybody.
Yep, rest easy, Diogo. It's tough, and you can see, how much it affects everyone. It's just, as a sports fan, just as a human being, you hate waking up to see that news. But as a sports fan, it's always tough. Watching, even though it's a competitor, you don't want to see a family go through that and a community go through that. So
He went out on top.
Yeah,
Did.
and also.
he did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's groundbreaking too when like people that don't know anything about soccer or the world of soccer kind of come up to you and be like, "Oh, did you hear about like what happened?" I'm like, "Yeah." My mom came up to me. She's like, "Oh no, did you hear about that soccer player?" I was like, "Yeah." That's just kind of like how groundbreaking, massive like the news is, and how like
I had my
crazy it
in-laws be
was.
like, "Do you know that guy?" Like, no, like yes, but
Yeah.
yeah, I know who that is. Thanks.
So it's definitely crazy.
But we're going to do our own custom starting 11 between Arsenal, because we have two Arsenal fans, Chelsea, and Manchester City. We thought that would be a fun way to start this episode off. And then we'll go into transfers and then Gold Cup as well. A little preview of that. So we all made our own custom 11s, but we're going to have to work together, which is going to be difficult for some people here. But we're going to do it, okay? We're going to do it for you guys. And we're going to work together and create our own collaborative custom 11. So I think everybody's pretty familiar with these. We're going to go goalkeeper first. Anybody want to start off with their keeper choice?
Yeah, I don't think there's any other question here. It's gonna be Czech. I don't think anyone else competes from Arsenal. And also, Czech was on
Czech
Arsenal.
played for Arsenal, so I was like, you know what? He's in there. I'll throw him in.
We're two for one there.
I'm with you. I don't think there's anyone else. Easy.
Wes.
He's on the board. Let's go.
So the first one's easy, guys.
Yeah.
This is going to be the easiest group decision.
The first two are easy. Then it starts getting difficult.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'll go ahead and start out with the right back, but I'll preface this with in the back four. I think there are 3 names that are locks in here.
I also think there's 3 that are locked.
The first one for me, the first lock is Kyle Walker, right back. When you look between the 3 teams, I mean, Kyle Walker is the best right back in Premier League history. Wes, who's better?
Before I say who I think is better, I just want to say that I think this right back position is the weakest player of this entire starting 11. I think there's world-class people that are legends throughout every other position on this team. I think right back is the one spot where there could be someone that could improve. I don't like Kyle Walker because he was just on a team that if it wasn't for the team, he wouldn't have had the success that he did. When you say, look at all the trophies he won, how about look at him actually play? And he's not in the starting 11, and I think there's a majority.
I think that's recency bias, though. I think that's recency bias, though. Because if you look at the last couple of years, he has lost.
Him is recency bias. You choosing him.
He's won 6 titles and a treble.
That's recency bias.
Yeah, but if it weren't for him, they wouldn't have won those.
I think Kyle Walker was always
who's a better right back.
I think he was
I
almost
had-
a speed merchant right back.
I'm gonna drop a name in here. You guys probably are gonna like it. It's. I put Reece James. I'm not gonna lie.
I knew you were gonna put Reece James.
Okay,
And
but let's think of as Wes said, this right back position is pretty hard. It's
definitely
difficult.
it's the toughest. It's by far the toughest.
I
Every other
think
position
Reece
is world
James?
class.
I think Reece James at his best, he's a phenomenal defender. He's a phenomenal striker. If you hear a lot of the people talk about currently in the Premier League say who is the toughest defender, like strongest defender you played against, Reece James is a brick wall. So
Reece James isn't top 10 right backs in Premier League era. He didn't even make the top 10.
I threw a name in there, and I think he's pretty good.
Listen, I will actually...
Arsenal has no contributions to this position.
Hold on. I will come to Nico's defense here. Reece James' worst quality is that he's always injured, by far.
I agree with that.
If you take Reece James' best game, the best right back of the Premier League of the recent era, absolutely. He, on his day, is absolutely fantastic. The only thing that you can fault him for is that he's played 5 games over the last 5 seasons because I don't know what this dude does. He just doesn't drink milk. I don't know what happens. This guy just gets hurt all the time.
He is made of
always hurt. Like, if he wasn't hurt, absolutely, he would have this position sewn up. I think for Arsenal, we have Lee Dixon. That's the only person that's like, yeah, you know what? He was actually a good right back for us. Because then it's like recent, you know what I mean? You're not going to put Timber there. He hasn't been there long enough. Bellerin, no. Just no. No. So it's like, it's just...
I will agree and say success-wise, Kyle Walker we could put there. Just out of the 3 clubs that we have. Out of the 3 clubs that we have, Kyle Walker would make the most sense. Success, and he, is a good player overall. So I'll go with Kyle Walker there.
I do think it's Kyle Walker.
What do you have to say?
I do think it's Kyle Walker, but it's not because he won it. It's because there's not really the legend amongst those 3 clubs in the Premier League era. Again, that guy does not have 3/4 of the success he's had if he was not implanted on a team that gave it to him.
I mean, to
I'll
be fair,
put my vote to him, but reluctantly. He didn't earn it. He just didn't have the competition to boost.
So are you going to make that argument for every single Manchester City player that there is? Because you can't make that argument for every Manchester City player.
Not at all. Not at all. Like I said, this right back position, I think, is the weakest spot on this starting 11 amongst these 3 teams in the Premier League era.
I think this right back spot is the only spot that's not world class. Every other position, we're going to have a world-class, legendary level icon for every single position except for this one. Not to say Kyle Walker's not good, but he's very good. He's elite, but not at the level of Czech or any of the other names we're about to mention.
Like, it's just, I haven't... How many times have you seen a right back put, like, recently, how many times have you seen a right back put Vinny Jr. in his pocket?
Oh, no, he's absolutely fantastic.
They lost to Real Madrid every time.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
You never
did they not go through Real Madrid to win a Champions League?
Again, my vote reluctantly is Kyle Walker.
We're gonna get strung up on this one if we keep on going.
Okay. I'll take the win. I'll take the win. Okay, left back. Who wants to start left back?
Can we all just say it at the same time? Because there's only one name.
2, 3. Ashley
Cole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chelsea, baby.
And Arsenal. We each got one apiece. We're sharing that.
He had his better years at Chelsea. Same with Czech.
Listen, man. Listen. We created the Formula 1 car. You might have won the championship. You might be the driver who drove it over the line, but we built it. Okay. We built that car.
If that makes you happy.
Yeah, it does. That's about the best I could do.
I'm surprised they didn't say Cashley Cole, to be honest. Moving on. Swiftly moving on. Who wants to start with their center back positions?
I'll go. Tony Adams.
Go ahead.
And John Terry. I think those are the 2. Those are the best 2.
Okay. I 100% agree on John Terry. For me, the 3 locks were Ashley Cole, Kyle Walker, and John Terry. Nikos, John Terry as well.
Oh yeah, John Terry's up there.
I figured as much. Who was your other guy, Nikos?
To be fair, okay, so I didn't know we were trying to do a combined 11. I thought we were just doing like our own 11. So I did have Bronislav Ivanovic in there. Wild shout. I just really liked him. Definitely not on an all-time list, but Terry is a lock.
Yeah.
Terry is also on my list.
Wes, who was your other guy?
Sol Campbell.
Sol Campbell was my third choice, trying to decide between Sol Campbell and Tony Adams.
I
He
kind of went
is
back
the
and
reason
forth.
defensively why they went invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went back and forth between two names, and just for debate's sake, I did put the big-headed Belgian Vincent Kompany there. And that is because, obviously, it does have to do with City. He was the captain who led them over the line to start their winning generation. So that's why I took Kompany. If it were up to me, Campbell would have been the other guy. So we're kind of at a crossroads here on that second center back. But
am I gonna have to make a decision on the second one?
I think Sol
so.
Campbell. I think Sol Campbell, John Terry. That would be scary too. Like those two giant units. I mean that's a good set.
Terry might not be in here.
Not to mention, but Campbell played at City for
Terry.
a short period.
Just put a random Terry in there, and then we can just assume.
Works. Terry Devlin, welcome to the club.
Frankie Terry. There we go. Frankie Terry.
Yeah.
Alfie.
Yeah.
Why is he not in there? The allegations?
This is going by FIFA, and Terry's not in FIFA.
Oh, is it? My fault.
Yeah. So
My fault. Well, we know Sol Campbell's.
We know Campbell's in there. We know. Actually, no, Kompany's not in there. I would say Kompany is very good. Oh, is he? Oh, because he's a hero card. Yeah, I'll give it to Campbell. I think Campbell overall probably better. I think Kompany's phenomenal. Had a screamer.
You're joking. Sol Campbell's not going to be here either.
Do Craig Campbell because there's no picture.
Francis.
Sure.
Oh yeah, true. No picture. That makes sense. All right.
Okay. Swiftly moving on to the midfield.
Right there.
That is a solid looking defense there.
Yeah, you ain't getting through that. So we're not going to really differentiate. We're just going to need three midfielders. We're not going to say that you need like a 6, an 8, and a 10, or 6 and 2 10s. You're just three midfielders.
Three midfielders.
Yeah.
3 midfielders. Anyone
want to pick a name?
Well, I'm sure we have another lock in here that we probably can all agree on.
Frank the Tank.
It's going to be Super Frank Lampard.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in there. I actually have one from each of us in the midfield, and I didn't plan to do that, and it just worked out that way.
Jordan
Lampard.
I do as well, Kyle.
I think we have the same. I don't even know. I'm just guessing.
I have Lampard, Vieira, and De Bruyne.
I have the exact same.
If I were to choose an Arsenal and a City player, I'd probably do the exact same.
Yeah, De Bruyne, and then I was going back and forth between Vieira and one other name, and that was Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure was incredible. I will take the De Bruyne win, and I will give it to Vieira, though, because Vieira did have a stint at City.
I feel like it's going to get real testy now.
Oh, it's going to get testy.
Yeah. I think so.
I didn't plan for the wing stuff, so I planned just strikers or just attack, like forward striker people. So I'm scrambling on a couple names.
Well, left wing is easy, right?
No.
What do you
I'll-
mean no?
It's
What do you-
not
hold on.
easy because I know you're gonna put Thierry Henry there, but is he a striker? You can put him as striker.
No, he played. If he played as a 4-4-2, he played on the left side, and then he would also play left.
Is he also a striker?
But that's a left strike.
He played both left wing and striker. Those are his two positions, and even if he played striker though, he always was starting way on the left and coming in.
I know where this is going. If we're
Even
gonna
in
put,
FIFA,
he's a striker. If we're gonna put Thierry Henry on the left, that means the striker position it better be a lock. That's all I'm saying.
Yes,
So-
it is a lock.
Okay, who's the lock?
It is
The lock is Drogba.
wrong.
What?
So wrong.
It's Aguero.
It is actually Sergio Aguero. That is the
I
lock.
actually
What?
100% agree with Nikos. It is absolutely Drogba.
Didier
Aguero-
Drogba is one of the best.
Aguero
One
is
of.
a pipsqueak. Aguero is a pipsqueak compared to Drogba. Drogba would eat Aguero.
Okay, then Leo Messi is a pipsqueak compared to Ronaldo. Does that make Ronaldo better than Messi?
Just because Aguero had that one goal that you could go, Aguero! Doesn't mean shit. Drogba, unbelievable.
He
Like,
has 80.
Drogba-
He has 80 more goals than Drogba. 80.
Aguero
if we're going
has
statistically, then
260 goals in the Premier League
no.
and has the best minutes played to goal ratio in the Premier League in Premier League history. Based on the minimum of 15,000 minutes, there's only one player with a better minutes per goal ratio than Aguero, and that's Haaland. Haaland doesn't qualify.
If we're going by statistics, then sure, we could do whatever we want. Statistically, we can change this whole list. Big time player, big time games, Champions League winner, Premier League winner, gets the go-ahead goal to beat Bayern Munich or send them to penalties or overtime. It is just, he's a different level of a player, is Drogba.
And he's so much more intimidating than Aguero. Like, if you see Drogba running at you, you are probably releasing in your pants.
And let's
Yeah,
talk-
but Aguero can score from
Aguero.
everywhere.
Let's talk
Aguero
off
can score
the
from
pitch.
anywhere.
Let's talk off the pitch. Stop the civil war. Just because that's what he fucking does. All right? Drogba is a dog, and he's that player. And also, aerial, strength, can shoot from anywhere as well, if we're going to play that card. If, Aguero can shoot anywhere.
Not like
Drogba
Aguero.
has screamers,
Doesn't have to
and
touch
he has
Aguero.
the aerial. He's touched Aguero in competition.
Pause.
Hey, yo.
Also, Drogba did something that Aguero never did, which is Champions League. And what I despise about Aguero is he told City that he would never leave until they won, and he left before they won. So to me, it is, if you're starting a team right now, like in real life, a pickup game, and you have everyone within their prime, and you have Drogba and Aguero, I am 1,000 times out of 1,000 times choosing Drogba. He's gonna mess people up. Aguero is your hope that he gets open.
If that's the argument, then let's put Hazard on the wing over Henry.
That's what I was going to say, but we don't have to get into that.
That's not even
Because
close,
my
dude.
front
That
three
literally
was
makes
Hazard.
no sense what you just
Because
said.
I'm not taking a cop out. Henry played striker more than he played anywhere else. So Henry and Aguero are the two up for debate at striker. I took Aguero over Henry. I put Hazard on the left. And then on the right, I put Raheem Sterling. Because who else is going on the right wing? Who played right wing? Who's going there?
Okay, so are you saying Drogba's not even in the debate?
No, he's in
For
the
me,
debate.
it was Aguero and Henry and then Drogba. For me. That's my personal.
For me, it was Henry on the left, Aguero, Drogba debate for striker, and we'll get in the right wing.
Are we gonna have to
But
phone in? Are we gonna have to phone in someone to split this tie?
Honestly, I think Aguero having 80 more goals and only playing 20 more matches in the Premier League. Drogba was very good, but he just is not a prolific goal scorer compared to other names. Jamie Vardy has more Premier League goals than Drogba.
Big time goals and big time moments.
Fine, but other people have done that. So for you
Have
to be
they?
on the there are people who just score those goals and then nothing else. Havertz
Consistently.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
no, you can't even compare Havertz to Drogba.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I just thought it was the best three attacking people, and I had Drogba, Henry, and Hazard. Those were my three. Aguero is the fourth, but it's only the three. So
I did ask JP. I said because my three would have been Henry, Aguero, and putting Drogba out on the right.
See, I think it's such a cop out. I think it's such a cop out, and it's the easy way out to put strikers on the wing.
Well, then if we're going best striker, then it's Henry. It's not even close. There's no debate. He's the best player to ever play in the Premier League. It's not even close. He's the king. So
probably top 5 player of all time.
Yeah,
I would put him in a top 10. Top 10.
He's
all
number
time
one.
Easily.
Premier League number one.
No,
Pele, Ronaldinho, Maradona, Messi, Ronaldo. I don't know how he's not 6.
He went from top 5 to top 6 pretty quick.
That could be different. That could be a different episode.
No, he revolutionized the Premier League. He was just the best
for you.
And yeah. And
so then, are we in agreement on Drogba, Aguero, Henry?
I think those are the best three. Doesn't matter where you play them. But...
So we can say those are the best 3 attackers, but that doesn't decide who the best right winger is out of the 3 teams.
Can we change our formation to 2 strikers?
Can we change our formation to 3 strikers?
Yeah.
Because here's what happened with me. I was making my 11, and then I had such a hard time deciding between that center back position and the right wing, and I was going back and forth whether I wanted to put Henry and Aguero up top and go Hazard on the left and then pick a right mid. And I'm like, you know what? Every time someone does a starting 11, it's a 4-3-3. Sometimes people pick something else, but like a 4-3-3, it makes you decide who the best striker, who the best left wing, and who the best right wing is. And I think because I don't think the right wing is the strongest position compared to the striker and left wing. So it's making us pick a right winger.
I have a right winger, but
can we play a winger out of position?
No, I think it's got to be Saka on the right wing.
Get out of here!
He's the best right winger.
Oh my god, that is absurd. Absurd. I was gonna at least say let's put Hazard on the right. You know what? No, actually, let me debunk this then. Let me debunk the right wing scenario. This is kind of a technicality, kind of. Mohamed Salah.
Well,
no,
listen, if we were doing Liverpool,
he didn't do anything at Chelsea.
He got a goal.
If we were doing Liverpool included in this, then yeah, that would be pretty easy. He would be the right winger.
I think that's a cop out too. I like.
What's wrong
Raheem
with Saka,
Sterling
then?
is the
Saka's
most
not
wasteful
of all time.
Of all time.
He's
take
better
Joe
than
Cole
Sterling.
over Saka.
Yeah, I'd put Joe Cole over Saka too.
Just because he's young.
Sterling is one of the most wasteful players I've ever seen. At the same time, he is a player who puts himself in position to make more chances than any player, and he was rewarded for that. He scored a ton of goals for Manchester City.
You don't think at the end of Saka's career that he's not going to be the right winger on this list?
Absolutely not. I'd rather put Arjen Robben for Chelsea up on that right wing right now.
He's got 10 years. He's got easily 10 years left. He's like, what, 22?
But if we want to make that argument, then we could say, okay, then I think Haaland will be the striker by the time his career is over because he's already broken the goal scoring record for a season.
No,
He's
And
on
if they're
pace.
going by the
No.
Aguero stats, that would make him the best of all time.
he's not
Exactly.
as dominant as Henri was. Henri was unstoppable. When you play Arsenal, you just have to look in Saliba or Gabriel's pocket to find Holland.
Yeah.
It's not true.
So then, who's our right?
Look at the
winger?
last
If
three
you have
games
to
against
choose,
us.
if you have to choose wingers who played on the wings, then Thierry Henry is your striker, and who's your left winger then?
I mean, you almost bring in like a
Hazard?
Hazard.
Robert Pires into the discussion for right
Robert
wing.
Pires was my right winger.
Because then we can like debatably start going into like.
See, but like Pierce played in the left more often than anywhere else.
I would say we can't throw any current player on there right now. I would say we're looking at the likes of like Pires. We're looking at the likes of Joe Cole.
What about
I would
Freddie
even-
Lindenberg?
No, I would even say
with the red hair though. Exclusively, he has to have red hair.
I would say we can even. This is a stretch of an answer to throw in Mahrez for City. Like these are more names that I'd rather put than like Saka or any other current right wing. Right?
Why not? Why not? What was wrong with Hazard, Drogba, and Henri? Henri takes the wing with Hazard, and then you just throw Drogba up top.
Well, because Hazard was a left wing, so we have two left wingers.
He was a left wing and then sometimes played in the middle.
Doesn't it kind of show how crazy it is that the hardest two positions are right wing and right back? Like those two, for whatever reason, that side is.
I think it's crazy
You know
that
what I mean?
right back was hard. I think that's absolutely crazy. Right back was hard.
Well, it's hard because the only people that were good, the only names that we had were people who've played like literally last year. But like of the last 30 years, there's no legendary right back for either of our three clubs. Besides the current guys that are, you know what I mean? Kyle Walker literally played last year, and same thing with Reece James is still playing. Like besides that, there's no early 2000s Arsenal right back or late mid 2000s Chelsea right back, and there's no late 2010 City right back. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, Zabaleta's not going on there.
Yeah, like it's just kind of interesting how that position.
Cult favorite. The City fans love Zabaleta, but he's not. He's not in the conversation.
I mean, Azpilicueta was pretty good.
Very true. Azpilicueta was really good. But he also was a right back and a 3-back center back, and he's great defender. I'm still taking Walker over Azpilicueta. I'm sorry.
I'd be willing to put Henri as a striker, Hazard on the left wing.
Good.
And then right wing we have to figure out. I mean,
I think left wing and striker are locked. We got to figure out the right wing.
Based on the votes, I will
honor.
I'm there with you. I'm with you.
I mean, it's probably the most unanimous decision, other than probably Peter Cech.
Shane Henry. Well, I wouldn't. I mean, debatable, but Drogba's still absolute legend.
Yeah, right wings. I mean,
Joe Cole,
Raheem Sterling. I'm going to go back to my argument here.
I mean, once again, another good example of someone that sat on teams that just were shredded.
On teams.
He
played 339 matches and scored 131 goals.
I mean, that's what happened.
And had 86 assists.
Games. Yeah, but
that's still a goal. That's better than a goal
yourself.
every game.
He's incompetent.
Now
that's a contribution every 2 games. Every other game, you're getting a goal or an assist out of Sterling. Like that's as a winger.
To be fair, Sterling was phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. If we're going back to Liverpool,
just throw him up there
and City. I mean, like he was unbelievable. It's a shitty name to throw up there just because like you look at all of. It's like you really want to put Sterling on an all-time 11.
He's so terrible.
It can't.
Now, he's so terrible now, and we can't let that
Exactly.
discredit his past because he was unbelievable.
Exactly. And like in my research, I mean, even like De Bruyne put Sterling as his best right wing and his all-time players that he's played with, and he played with Salah at Chelsea.
Yeah, but when did he say that? Was he a current teammate of his?
No, it was in his exit interview at City.
Okay, all right. I just because I feel like we're not going to compromise on anything else. Sterling, because if
I gave up on Aguero.
Just throw him up
Jimmy
there and let's get this over with.
All right.
On a two striker lineup of Drogba and Henry would arguably be like the toughest starting two, probably in the past 50 years of football.
I would agree.
If we did that, and we did like a two striker with them, the only thing I would change is I would put De Bruyne as an attacking midfielder, and I would probably throw Yaya on the midfield with Lampard and Vieira in the back.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but Hazard.
To be honest, this team would win a lot. This team would do very well. You got a lot
all
of
in
speed.
their prime, of course. Yeah.
Like that right side now with Walker Sterling's got a lot of speed. Your dribbling of Hazard on the left, Lampard coming in and being that, second striker coming in.
I mean, realistically, I'd switch those two. Right?
Yeah.
Very good. I'd switch them too.
All right, my future women's soccer player for Arsenal Football Club is just making
Is that Lenestra?
Lenesra, yes.
Very good.
All right, this is our team.
And that is your Banter Boyz all-time Arsenal, Chelsea, and City.
Got a lot of Chelsea players up there, just saying.
What are you talking about? Hazard, Sterling,
what's
De Bruyne?
I said we got a lot of Chelsea players.
Oh.
What's the count here?
A lot of overlapping.
6 Arsenal players.
You got Cech, Cole, Campbell, Vieira, Henry. So you got
only
5. Well, and Sterling. I'll count Sterling. That's 6, bitch. I'll take that.
We got
only
7.
4.
You got Cech. Who else? What do you got?
Cech, Cole, Terry, De Bruyne, Lampard, Hazard, Sterling.
Boom, 7.
It's a lock. Chelsea's the greatest team
and
of all
then
time.
what? For City, it's Walker, De Bruyne, Vieira, Lampard, Sterling. It's 5.
Vieira played for City?
He did.
Yeah.
Granted, City wasn't even in the Premier League era until 11 years after this whole thing started. They hadn't struck oil in the Middle East yet.
Okay, Wes. We appreciate your freezing cold takes every week.
Sometimes the cold hard truth is a cold hard take.
All right, we're going to get rid of this starting 11, and we'll see you in a second.
Transfers, baby.
All right, we'll let you guys take the floor. Yeah. What's that?
Huh?
What's that?
What are you guys talking about? What are we talking about?
Let me tell you, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait. He's got the coldest celebration.
Oh, that's actually kind of crazy because you just said coldest, and I don't know if you know what the literal coldest one is.
Yeah, even this one's cooler. The Bane. I mean, come on.
I'm going to be sitting here like this until Gyökeres comes even close to my boy.
Huh? Who scored more goals last year? Oh, okay.
Who has the record for the Premier League? Who has the record?
It's okay.
Until Gyökeres breaks the record, don't even bring that up to me about who scored more goals last year. Until he breaks the record.
All right. Well, let me know when he scores more goals than him this year. Hopefully he can do that. Yeah, so big Arsenal news. We put in a bid. It did not get rejected. There's also, I guess, talks scheduled for 11 a.m. tomorrow to finalize things. Looks like I think it's 60 million euros, so it's like 70 million for us, 10 million add-ons. Looks like I think it's 6 of those million add-ons are pretty. He's going to get those, and the other 4 are like Ballon d'Or, Champions League, Premier League, stuff like that. Definitely seems like Andreas Berta had a very good plan going in, kind of getting these 2 strikers to kind of work off each other. The reason I think we're going with Gyökeres is, number one, we got the better deal. He is 27. We just turned 27 a few weeks ago. So he's the more ready-made striker. Sesko, you could have eventually maybe made money on him down the road, or you could have gotten more out of him, but he's also not the ready-made striker. He would have came in, he probably would have split time with Havertz. Now we know if Gyökeres is coming in, he's starting game week 1. Havertz is going to be, the guy to come in, at whatever, 70 minutes. That's probably what's going to happen. But
try to break the 0-0 draw. Yep.
Yeah, it seems like, well, Gyökeres definitely wants this move. He's been liking our posts on Instagram and stuff. He's been having his agent come out and say he's not going to train. He ain't going back. He also, I don't know if anybody knows this, he broke up with his girlfriend because she said she didn't want to go to London. And he said, see you later. I'm leaving.
And he went off to Mykonos on vacation.
He really broke up with her because she didn't want to move to England, and that's where he wants to go. And he told Manchester United, listen, first dibs to Arsenal. If they don't want me, then I'll come to you. So it seemed like he was doing so much to come here. He was like, this is my preferred place. I want to go here. I want to go here. Whereas Sesko, I think because he's so young, I think his agent didn't want to go to Leipzig and do the same thing of, hey, we want to force a move. Because I think if the right move isn't available this summer, he's just going to stay at Leipzig. And I didn't think he wanted to go in there and kind of burn that bridge and get stuck going somewhere else. So it seemed like Gyökeres was like, he was willing to go that extra mile. Even today, there was reports that he took off $2 million from his salary because the clubs were kind of fighting over $4 million. So he was like, I'll take the difference. And he was like, give me $2 million less in salary, and then you guys can split that. And so it's like, okay, so he obviously wants to come and play here.
To be fair, he already burnt his bridge.
Well,
with Sporting. So like, if it was $2 million, he'd be like, okay, listen, it's either $2 million or nothing. So let me put $2 million of my own in there.
Mm-hmm. He was never like, he was linked to United because the manager, but other than that, Juventus were like interested in him, but there was no conversations of him wanting to go to anywhere else but Arsenal. Which, as an Arsenal fan, I'll accept it. I wanted Sesko more because he was taller, younger, and that's kind of like the squad we got is a lot of young talent. But would Sesko have won us the league next year? Probably not. But in, say, 3 years, would he be the best striker in the league? Hopefully, that's like the plan. But, Marouche scored more goals in the Bundesliga than Sesko did last year. And they wanted 90 million, 100 million. So it's like, nah, I want the guy who wants to come and play for us. So, big...
Wes, what do you think?
I don't know.
Wes was team Sesko.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I guess in like a 30-second nutshell, I've always been skeptical of Portuguese wonders who are in the Portuguese league and come over. There haven't been a ton that have done so and have been prolific, and that's what we need to sign. I don't disagree with Kyle that maybe there's a bit more development with Sesko that needs to happen, but I think he is there. I think he could be the guy that could get us the league next year. I also don't like that Gyökeres has been in the Premier League before, granted at a different point in his career, maybe, but didn't do well in his spell at Brighton, I think it was. And then again, you go to probably 7th, 8th best league in just Europe, which is the Portuguese league, in my opinion. And, you kill it there, but what does that equate to? So I'm skeptical, I'm not upset about it. I'm not even trying to be negative sounding. I'm just it feels like a slam dunk, and you just don't know as he's going up if it's going to go through or if it's going to be something that bricks and just hits the back of the rim, and then we're all laughing. So I fully support him. I like that it's cheaper. If it's a $20+ million difference between him and Sesko, I'm okay with it. If he was any older, 28, 29, I'd really start to get skeptical. So I think it still has opportunity to be great. It's hard to say like this is what he's done and this is why he's going to be great in the Premier League, and that's the only thing that has me a little sketch. Otherwise, I'm excited for the most active club this week in the Premier League in the transfer market.
I just want to say how refreshing that was, Wes, because
What?
the realism.
Ooh, nice.
Food delivery.
I know,
Dude, food delivery?
I-
Pie, too.
I
Pie on
always
the
speak
podcast.
complete realism, but thank you for recognizing for once.
No, I like just because I agree 100% with Wes, because I think has potential to be an unbelievable striker. Big body, has a lot of goals, statistically looks really good, but how much is that credited to the league that he's in and the competition that he has? We have four teams in the Portuguese league that's contenders, and everyone else is just teams I've never heard of. Teams that I'm looking at right now that their logos aren't even updated when I search them up. It's just blank.
It's a farm league.
Yeah, so we'll see
Yeah.
how he performs when he comes over, how he holds up to the Premier League, tougher defenders, real league, and see how he does. I think it's a good move for you guys, but let's hope that he can compete.
I'm more afraid of Gyökeres than Sesko
I agree.
as a City fan. I'll say that. So if you're getting Gyökeres for less money than what you would have paid for him, I think that's the better business move, which Arsenal needs just as a club. Like when they're doing good for business moves, I think that's a positive thing for Arsenal. Hasn't happened until the last couple of years, so and after
Why are you more
Sporting and
scared
City,
though?
after
But
watching
what?
Gyökeres against City in the Champions League last year, I've seen Sesko against City. I've seen Gyökeres against City. I think Gyökeres was scarier to play against.
And
It's that simple.
Interesting.
Arsenal played him last year, and he had one single chance against Saliba and Gabriel, beat Saliba, and hit the post between, like, Raya was a foot away from the right post, and hit above Raya, hit the post, and just missed. And I was like, oh. But that was literally his only chance. But, we were kind of all over them in that game. But
Yeah. So two things. One, he actually didn't play a single EPL minute, I believe, if my stat lookup is correct. He only played FA and EFL games, scored 1 goal in 8 matches. My second thought is I'm not going to be surprised no matter what happens next year, basically. I think the range is so large where I'm not going to be surprised if he's no better than Havertz and we're just all pissed. And I'm not going to be surprised if we're like, yo, I think we're actually doing it this year. So that's what's so about it. But I think I just have to take the glass half full and know that we're doing stuff, and that's what matters.
So I think that's kind of a good way to put a bow on it for Gyökeres, but it sounds to me like Arsenal now, they might need another midfielder too.
Yeah. So before
Why?
I get to the midfielder, I will say the thing that I thought about at the beginning of the Gyökeres Sesko thing, when I was trying to look up both and figure out which one I liked more, because that mattered. The thing that I kept coming back to is, are both of them better than Mikel Merino? Yes. Are both of them better than Havertz? Yes. Are both of them better than Gabriel Jesus post 2 ACL injuries? Yes. So no matter which one we get, we're getting a better striker. Like Gyökeres is better at striking the ball and scoring goals than Havertz. You know, Sesko is you know what I mean, has better attributes. So it's like, okay, he could potentially get there. So that's where I was like, you know what? We kind of made it work this year with center mid at striker. So I'm pretty confident that either would work, but I'm happy with Gyökeres.
Can I just ask one ending number question on Gyökeres? Unless you have a thing to say, Nikos.
No.
Go ahead.
If he signs for Arsenal, I just want one number from each of us. What is the over-under on total goals scored in all competitions next year on the over-under of good signing, not a good signing?
All goals? I don't know. I think for Premier League, I would say I think it's got to start with a 2.
Yeah, I would say if he scored 18 to 20, you know, anywhere more than 18, 20, somewhere around there in the Premier League, that would be a great signing. I mean, last year our highest goal scorer had 9. So if you could double that next year,
I'd say my number,
I would want 20.
I'd say 16 would be the number for me. If he hits that like 16 plus mark, I'd be like, all right, he put some goals.
Yeah. I think 18 is the number for me, especially if we're talking just Premier League goals. I'd maybe even drop it down to like 16 as well. But I think if it's all competition, it's got to be 20 plus. Has to be north of 20.
Yeah, if it's 25 plus all competitions, I'd be like, okay.
All right. So that's a Bowen.
I know you guys are linked to a player, and it seems like it's going to happen. And I'm so upset about it, honestly, because we're losing one of our own. And
do you know why? As you
guys know, I love him so much. I've talked to him on the podcast many times because I just feel you're so good. You're not a ball hog. You never try to over flare. You always just know what to do at the right time. You're so good at crossing. And I think Nani Madueke is going to be a huge pickup for you guys. And I'm so happy for you guys. And what? 50 plus million? A steal. So big ups to you guys.
It sounds to me like Rodrigo's out of the question at this point.
Is he being facetious?
No. So we are linked to them, but it's already been said that Arsenal are not going anywhere near that 50 to 60 million that Chelsea want, which Chelsea wants 60 million because they need to make 60 million this year in sales. Otherwise they can't be in the Champions League because they broke rules. So they have to make 60 million in player sales this summer to register players for the Champions League, which is why I think that Arsenal are interested to try to get a $30 million deal done for a backup to Saka for a player that's obviously worth more than that.
On the left wing.
Right wing. We don't need him for left wing. Our left winger's coming, baby. Don't worry about it.
Who?
He plays for the Real Madrid, but he's been on the bench.
He doesn't even play. He doesn't even play for us.
He's been on the bench.
You guys are gonna get Madueke and it's gonna be okay.
No, it's already been talked about.
And you guys are getting Nico Jackson too.
Kyle, my wife has a greater chance of giving birth before your wife does than Rodrigo does of coming to Arsenal. And my wife is definitely not pregnant, and your wife is due tomorrow.
Listen, Rodrigo is leaving Real Madrid. He is absolutely leaving. He's been on the bench now for 4 games. He's played 20 minutes in the tournament besides the first game. He's 100% leaving. Even an hour ago, PSG apparently contacted Rodrigo's agent or whatever and wants to start talks. And if he goes to PSG,
that's a place he will go.
If he goes to PSG, then we can get their left winger Barcola, I think is the.
Why would he need to go to PSG?
Because he's not playing at Real Madrid, so he has to leave. He's always.
You have Dembele on the right, and you have Kvaratskhelia, whatever his last name, whatever his name.
You have Kvaratskhelia, you have Doué.
absolutely no
You have
need to
Barcola.
go to PSG. And Barcola's not leaving because I'm pretty sure he stayed strong on the fact that they're not getting rid of Barcola.
Yeah. So
I don't know. If we get rid of
Desiree
Madueke, maybe that.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say if we get rid of Madueke, maybe that opens the door for us getting Rodrigo. Maybe we do some kind of switch or trade or whatever. But
No, I don't see him coming to the Premier League.
I don't want it.
I'm willing to bet he comes to the Premier League. If he leaves, he goes to the Premier League. Maybe it's not Arsenal, but I think that's where he goes. That's where the money is now. You know,
in
Real Madrid,
in times
PSG, Premier League.
In times like this, when all is quiet on the Manchester City front, something big is coming.
Finally,
am not necessarily saying that it's Rodrigo, but if I wake up in a few days and I see a Fabrizio tweet saying, "Here we go," and it's Rodrigo to City, I won't be surprised. Just based on the output that I saw from the wings, Doku looked really good. But I think they need someone on the wing who is going to be scoring more goals and less of a hold up and distribution and tempo setter like Savinho is. I wouldn't be shocked to see it. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think at this point, with all the stuff that I'm seeing from Arsenal, like I don't think they have another 100 million to spend on Rodrigo.
we haven't had a single legitimate link about it other than the fact that he's not playing at Real Madrid, and somehow that equates to he's going to become a gunner. I don't buy it. Kyle, I love you. I thought about suggesting for you to call like 211 or something for like a helpline. He is not coming to our club. As much as I would love it, he is not coming to our club. We have Ezzy, maybe Madueke. Like that's basically two wingers right there.
And
we're also linked to Jokeresh. Like it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not even in discussion.
I feel like we've kind of been beating this Rodrigo drum like every episode, nonstop. What? Well, what?
Here's what I would say. David Ornstein is super connected at Arsenal. He is the Arsenal guy. Very interesting. Ornstein has never said a single word about Sesko to Arsenal this entire summer. Never.
And neither has he about Rodrigo.
Very interesting. But he actually did. He did say that Arsenal they want a striker, a left winger, a backup for Saka, and they want a backup for Odegaard. They were not happy last year with Havertz getting injured and having nobody, Saka getting injured, having nobody, Odegaard getting injured, having nobody. Eze is that Odegaard would be the Odegaard person. He can't play left wing also. He can't play in that Odegaard position. Madueke seems to be hey, Chelsea needs some money. See if we can maybe get a backup for Saka going that direction. But he also said the Madueke thing has nothing to do with the winger budget. That's completely separate. That's what Ornstein said. So he is super connected. He also said Arsenal want a striker, Arsenal want a winger on that left side. So Madueke is kind of I think he's that fourth guy. He's the guy that if he comes in, he comes in. But he's not starting over Martinelli.
I don't think Eze is going to come in and take a sub.
I think he will.
I think Eze comes in and boots Martinelli right to the bench.
I would say he's better than Odegaard.
I think no.
I agree.
I think your front three for Arsenal next year is Eze, Jokeres, Saka, and then in the midfield you have Odegaard, Rice, Zubamendi.
I think Eze wants Arsenal so bad he'll take what he can get.
I don't think so. I think honestly, it looks like he's probably going to go to Tottenham. Not gonna.
Eze?
I think since you guys are making these links and other targets and Jokeris and Nani's in question and a lot of question marks, he's gonna go to somewhere else or stay.
It takes Arsenal too long to do anything.
It does, but we also didn't spend that much last year, so we definitely have a big budget to spend this year. Also, with getting to where we did in the Champions League, finishing second again. That is big money.
And I'm not trying to make this about Arsenal transfer only, but I have to give us credit. We've been shaving money off the books. We just got rid of Party. We just got rid of Tomiyasu. I think between them,
We got rid of
that's like-
Party. I don't think that was by choice. Let's be real.
Sure. But I think
I mean, he's been an unnamed player since 2021, so that's not by choice. He's been protected, and it's disgusting. But moving on.
I mean, between Tomiyasu and Party alone, we're looking at the club saving 300 a week right there.
Okay, that pays for Jokeris.
Yeah.
We are not
That pays
paying
his salary.
Jokeris 300. It'll probably be 275, 290.
Not
You
even-
can't
Okay,
pay
so
more.
almost 200.
Wrong. It's
We've been
200.
talking about
it's not
Arsenal.
300.
All right.
No, it is
Let's talk
200.
about someone other than Arsenal, guys. You're hogging all the time we have. Nico,
We've been the busiest.
anything for you from Chelsea besides Madueke out?
To be fair, I don't think so. I think just eyes on Medway.
Yeah, the only thing I saw was Nico Jackson to Saudi was the only Chelsea link that I saw. Obviously, they finished some deals that we talked about last time, like shirt picture shit, but...
And then also, if we do a potential deal with Arsenal, however you say his last name, NW, Nuer, whatever.
Nwaneri?
Ethan Nwaneri.
Yeah, he was linked. If we do business with you guys, that potentially Chelsea for him.
Also,
I don't know why you need Madueke when you already have your Nwaneri as your soccer backup, but
Yeah, also, Nwaneri can't be sold to Chelsea because he's not 18, so he can't have a pro contract yet, so it's impossible for him to leave until next summer. Just so you know.
okay,
love
alone
that.
with an obligation
Whoever
to
made
buy.
up that link,
Alone
whoever-
with obligation to buy.
Whoever made up that link actually is
easy.
getting like destroyed on Twitter because they're like,
It's,
he literally
it's
can't
on
leave.
Fabrizio. Fabrizio, if we
Alone with an obligation to buy after one season. Like, problem solved.
And make the loan to buy like 75.
Sure. 75. Okay, then. Manchester City news. Kyle Walker to Burnley.
Yeah.
5 million in add-ons. Here, and it's free.
That's yeah.
But like
Are
I
you
said,
We
got
call
the-
that terrible business.
we call that
We call it
6 Premier
terrible
League titles, a treble. Good business.
how
You got
many
every
games-
dollar worth out of him.
How many games do you think he plays for Burnley?
As many as you can.
Starts
going
with
in,
a 3.
he's going in the starting.
No, I know that, but
Starts with a 3. He's playing over 30 games.
You think he'll survive 30 games in that team getting
Yeah.
absolutely like on City you don't defend for 90
Pounded
minutes.
every single week.
You know what I'm saying? Like City you don't defend for 90
Yeah,
minutes.
but
You
he's
have the
also
ball
but
for
Burnley's also not a team that
70%
you're
of it.
bombing up and down the sideline every.
True.
every
That's what I'm saying.
10 minutes.
You know,
So-
but he's better going
Yeah.
forward than going backwards.
He will
With
okay.
add-ons?
I'm sorry. You said how many will he play in? He will play in over 30 matches. How many will he start?
For sure.
I don't
30
know.
minutes.
And how many
Yeah.
matches will he play the complete match? It's another question I don't know the answer
Yeah.
to. But he'll
I think
be playing probably in every match.
You guys
And
with
if you just
add-ons,
if you
paid
wanted to just
50
say
million
that
for him.
if you want to go ahead and say that Kyle Walker with 5 million in bonuses going elsewhere is bad business, but Thomas Partey leaving on a free is good business, like that's some of the biggest hypocrisy I've ever heard in my life.
I don't think we could
I
have
mean,
sold him, JP.
You're comparing two different characters right now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
So
don't think
that's-
we were getting a sale on
That's
that
an
one.
apples to oranges comparison. You guys bought him for 50 million, and you're letting him go for free. God willing, you force add-ons to Burnley.
Okay, but
Yeah.
like with the
But
amount
how-
that they
how many-
got, hold on.
how much did he
Yeah,
win?
I got you, JP. Historically, Kyle Walker costed how much?
50.
Okay,
50 million.
So 50 million for how many titles, JP?
6.
And a Champions League goal. USA, USA, USA. That was sick. I don't know if you guys have it on.
Actually, I didn't even realize that it was that time.
I completely derailed this topic. But anyways, how many Champions League has Kyle Walker won?
1.
Oh, that's crazy. So 6 titles and a Champions League. Is that return? What's the ROI looking like there on 50 million?
More than 50 million.
Yeah, and I don't know if we go back to our beginning topic today, where we started this episode on the all-time 11. He was on that list. So
And you still let him go for free.
He's old. What do you expect? Like, what do you expect? Do you expect to have?
Now?
I'm pretty sure this is where we got bashed last week when we had, and we're like, we have no large transfer fees getting paid to Arsenal because we let our people go once they're too old. But we got bashed for it. But now that I'm bashing,
yeah, but because they came and then they didn't win anything. Because they came and didn't win anything. That's what it was, Wes.
Did.
If you guys won as many Premier Leagues as Manchester City has in the last 20 years, I wouldn't say anything about those moves. I wouldn't say anything about letting people leave on a free. I wouldn't say anything at all about that. I would say, yeah, you know what? That's good business. You got every ounce of strength out of Kyle Walker that you could have. He lost a step. His mind goes elsewhere when he's on defense at this point. He's just not that guy anymore. But for a long time, he was that guy. So it's okay. They got every penny's worth out of him and then some.
And then
I don't think that's an argument.
We can even take this to, I think we said this on the first or second episode, when we talked about Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz, whatever his fee was. We had him for like a year or 2, 3 years. He won us a Champions League. Everything that we paid for him paid off right there. Him getting the goal to win us a Champions League. All money that was spent on him was done, worth, historic, check.
What was the topic?
If we're talking about Kyle Walker, you guys buying him for 50 million and then selling him for 5 million, that's all that matters. He paid his due.
He was there for almost a decade.
Yeah, his fee.
If he was like 100, if he was 100, then you would be like, all right, you'd like to recoup a little bit of that back. But no, for 50, that's a good getting 5.
And then
about him starting is that what you said, where he kind of falls asleep defensively, he lost his step because Burnley's going to be defending for 80% of that match. I think that by Christmas he's not starting matches anymore because he was exposed defensively time in and time again and again and again. You know what I mean? Like if Trent Alexander-Arnold went to Burnley, he wouldn't be starting the second half of the year because he's not a great defender. He's amazing going forward and has some of the best crosses in the world. But if he constantly had to defend, he would just get exposed over and over again, and then he'd become a liability.
Or you'll see Burnley with a 5-back and him as a wing-back and let him make a few sprints of matches and get a ball in. And then on that Manchester City right-back topic, then all of a sudden news comes out that the guy that was the one transfer that I said would be the perfect replacement in episode 1 comes out that he's got a $25 million release clause that's active until July 15th. And that's Denzel Dumfries. And I said it would be an uncharacteristic signing because he's 28. But realistically, the fits in there now to win now, he's the guy. So all of a sudden we hear Manchester City reached out and they're potentially going to start negotiations here. Boom.
Yeah, that'll be done by Thursday.
There's your replacement.
That'll be done by
Thursday. I can't wait for Ezzy to run circles around him.
Pictures on Saturday.
On Tottenham.
And then, real quick, because I know we're running short on time, other thing I heard, potentially Nico Gonzalez is looking for a way out.
He wants out. I saw that.
I don't really think that's the case, because I don't think he would have gone there if he didn't know the situation. You're going in there to play behind Rodri, most of the time, and then also, be a rotation guy, and eventually you will be a key part of the team, but he's only 23. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to Pep's team and you're playing that position, like, you know well in advance that you're not going there to start day one. You're not going there to start day two. So I also heard that got shut down pretty quick. So that's really all I have on that. But I think the other big one is Fabrizio had a tweet that was a list of players that want out of their current club. And that is Marcus Rashford, Anthony, Alejandro Garnacho, Malacia, and Jadon Sancho. If I remember correctly, they were told that they're not part of the plans. So I don't know if
they're all on the same team.
Yeah.
I don't know if they want their way out is necessarily accurate, because I think Ruben told them to go scratch, and they're not part of the plan. So find a new club.
What a
do we think, guys?
disaster that is.
Are we going to see a whole bunch of Manchester United activity in the coming weeks?
Well, here's the thing: they're still having
not
the
with
deal done
people
for Mbeumo from Brentford. They still can't get that deal over the line. You know, that was 2 weeks ago that it was almost a done deal. So what's going on there? And they need a striker, and Gyökeres should be going to Manchester United.
They don't need a striker. They bought Xerxes and Hoyland.
His manager is there that got the best out of him. Like, how is he not going there? Like, it's mind-boggling.
They just bought 2 strikers, like JP said. And then also Cunha is going to play that, like, potential 9. Like, that false 9 kind of. Like, I feel like Cunha is that weird, debatably could be a striker, could be the cam.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe complement Xerxes or Hoyland if they ever decide to step up. But yeah, I don't think they're going. They better not get a striker.
But both
with all of their links that they're losing all of their wingers. They're losing everybody. They better not get a striker, or else we will see them in the championship next year.
Yep.
I think they genuinely need to start with a new team sheet. I don't know if there's a single person on that club starting 11 that I'd be like, I need them as part of a rebuild. Genuinely.
Wes, this is one of the few times that I'm going to partially agree with you.
Listen,
like, based on their starting 11s, like at the end of last season, I partially agree with
you. United get relegated, and they have to sell all of their players. All of their players are available for super low because they got relegated. Who would you want to join your team?
Probably their parking attendant, and that's about it.
This is a good way to end the episode. Like, name one player from United who would you want
parking
on
attendant.
your team.
Like, I generally don't want.
We gotta insert like the Jeopardy music here. God. I mean, for
genuinely, like
for development's sake, Kobe Mainu. For like maybe Bruno Fernandes.
Amad Diallo.
Okay.
Okay. He's a little stud, but everyone else can piss off.
Yep. I mean, I guess the thing the city needs the most right now would be a right back. So maybe Dallo.
Yeah, Dallo's good.
I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's bad. He's a decent player.
Yeah, I think Kobe Mainu is the only one that I would say, yeah, that's the person. Like Lenny Yoro, young, maybe. Hey, you know what I mean? Developmental center back. I'm in here and try to learn something from Saliba Gabriel. But yeah, we came up with at most 3 names. And even Dallo, you're like, oh, like, I guess if I have to choose somebody. Okay, so if the only person we'd all agree with is Kobe Mainu, so that's one person.
Well, like, okay, but like
Fernandes
can create plenty of goals. He can. He still has that.
Absolutely.
I hate him. So
he's a disgusting rat, and I hate him. But
for what? Okay. How many years? What is? Isn't he 31 now? So what are you gonna get him for? 2 years? It wouldn't even be. You know what I mean? So like,
He's so
You
inconsistent.
didn't ask me
too.
how much we pay for him. You didn't ask me any of that.
Yeah, true.
It's
So they
the
are
one player
100%.
that you would say, okay, let's drop him in my squad.
They
How
are
did we get the money?
100% in danger of if they lose 5 wingers and they can't get. They're not linked to Eze. They're not linked to Rodrigo. They're not linked to Gyökeres. Sesko ain't going there. He's going to stay at Leipzig. He's not going to go to Manchester United.
Let me say
They are so broken for so long.
Let me say one thing, and this maybe we could wrap up with this.
Yeah.
We have for all the listeners that are watching right now and listening, we have a 5th member to this podcast team. His name's Kyle. He's a Man U fan. If things do not get better, you guys probably will never meet him. I'm gonna say right now, maybe some technical difficulties and why he's not been here. It will be voluntarily not showing up come the season start. So we'll see if we get our 5th member. But with the way that United's looking, we might not ever meet him.
Yeah.
He's like Manchester United in the top half of the table, missing.
Oh, that's great.
That's on that note, let's end it. Let's end it on this. Everybody, go enjoy the game. USA, baby. Let's take home the Gold Cup.
Also, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. And that's it. That's it for me. Anybody else?
Yeah, I saw Arsenal beat City 5-1 in person. It was great.
All right, irrelevant. Stop the recording.
Good night.
Stop the recording.
The other thing I would say is if you agree or disagree with our starting 11, let us know in the comments.
Yes. Debate it. Fight about it. Thank you,
See ya.
guys. See you next week.